Hello, everybody. All right, so today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023. Hopefully, everybody's having a good week. Yeah, we're up to 198 subscribers now, so I'm hoping we'll get two more soon to get up to that magical number of 200. You guys can, of course, like and share the stream. See if we can get some more happy, friendly people in here to engage. That would be appreciated. Also, if anything here we talk about tonight um, if anything we talk about catches your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the question best of my ability. So we're gonna wait a few minutes, give people a chance to drop in. Hopefully, everybody's, as I said, having a good day here. Actually, I need to check something, so I'm gonna put some music on here for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, so as we'll continue to wait for more people, let me a couple things here real quick. All right, so let me clear it out a little bit more here. All right, so all right, well we're at the 4.5 minute mark now, so I guess I'll go ahead and talk about what's on tap for tonight. So tonight we're gonna primarily cover independent comic showcase. I might even throw another story or two in there, depending upon the time constraints. Among the features in that particular on that particular issue issue of article in Independent Comic Showcase, of course, is Tim Olson's Melvin book is featured in that. Let's see. Also, of course, we'll have the wrestling wrap up on the latest in of course WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling news, and then we'll do the history before closing everything out. So let's see now. So with all that being said, why don't we go ahead get started here? All right. Indie Comic Showcase number 240. Extraordinary Tales. Melvin. Cremisi and Adult Lessons. So, article by Chris Braley. Article by Chris Braley published yesterday. Let's get into this then. September 20th, which was yesterday. All right, so welcome back. Welcome back to another installment of Indie Comic Showcase, the weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects. Crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle. And of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and followers. On Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, and tell you how you can check out the project for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. Melvin by Timothy Lee Olsen. Kind of, he's got the green tinge of the Hulk going there for him. Anyway, let me click on this underway, of course. All right, so here's the link to Tim's campaign, to the Melvin campaign here. Put it in the chat for you guys. You want to check that out? There it is for Melvin number 0. So let's find out. Let's find out what this is all about. Let's see. Chris Braley. Welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Timothy. What's the pitch for your latest issue of Melvin? Timothy Lee Olsen. Melvin number 3 continues the sci-fi fantasy adventure. Learn what Melvin's strange ability is, and will he continue to be a merc or be the hero he is destined to be? Also, witness Alice face consequences for her action and fight for what she believes in. Chris, where did you come up with this idea? Timothy, Melvin was an idea I had when I was in middle school in the early 90s that didn't go anywhere. However, when I watched John Carter of Mars and hearing what Yo boy Zach did, I dug Melvin back up from the grave and reimagined him. Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. Chris, can you describe your creative process for me? Timothy, um, I don't know how to describe maybe a gumbo of all the things that drive my imagination. Gumbo is a Cajun dish for those who may not know. Sci fi, fantasy, 90s image, and some comedy. As for my creative process, small part is I see something happen that I can't change, so I write about it in story. So that is a small part of it, and the rest is just trying to make the best story I can. Music helps, so when I am writing, plus I get a lot of feedback from people I really trust. It's a lot of work, but the payoff is awesome. Hmm. All right, so only one in here. All right, so Chris then asked, "Who is your creative team?" Timothy. Sid Tellis is an amazing artist and on time with a lot of the art. Rick is an inker and colorist. I believe when he says Rick, he's talking about Rick Piper. I believe inker and colorist that will surprise you on how good he is. And the cover for Melvin #3 is um, just the most amazing cover ever. And props to the letter E's K and the editor Gable Pennyshot. Wonder if this is the same Gable guy who comes on and razzes Timothy now and again. Hmm. Also to the team that made Melvin #0 possible, Rob Ewing, who did an amazing job drawing, inking, and lettering it. In parentheses, he also did the bonus story from Melvin #3, and Phil Leon, who colored the back cover. Well, that's an interesting. So Chris asked then, how far along is this issue in production? Timothy, workflow is good, and Melvin #3 is 3 pages away from being fully lettered, and Melvin #0 script is almost completed and will soon be sent for editing. So here's some more stuff here. Chris, what's next after this book? Are there more stories to tell? Timothy, keep building the brand and the audience. And hell yeah, I got more stories. You already put out 4 books, basically a zero issue, and then issues 1 through 3. So that's quite an establishment there. That's great. Anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Timothy, look for more stuff on Melvin and Zed and Odysseus. If Melvin #3 gets to $700, I will offer a trading card drawn by Sherwin Casayo Sains, Melvin Melvin #1. All right, so there we go. So you guys haven't, or and of course, Timothy's been on our channel before, so he's supported. And here's our buddy Rick. Rick's in the chat. If you haven't already, Rick, if you can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Let's see what we got here. Hi, all. And yes, he is talking about me in regards to the inking and coloring, and yes, the same Gable. Okay. So Rick answered some questions there. So thank you, Rick. As always, appreciate it. Anyways, let's get ready to move on to the next. I'm hearing jet streams outside. Anyway, let's get on to the next part of the article here. Kremisi and Mistress Izumi's Adult Lessons by Isaac Fox. Wow. Foxy censor. Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah. All right, let me just do this real quick. All right. And here, of course, is the link to check out this campaign. This campaign we're about to show next here. Here's a link to that one. Kremisi and Mistress Izumi's adult lessons. So if you guys want to check that out after we're done reading the article, there's the link. You guys can go ahead and check that out. All right, so Chris Braley, welcome back to ICS, Isaac. What can you tell us about the books on your latest Kickstarter campaign? Isaac Fox. Kremisi number 5 finds our crew arriving on the planetary colony of Savavri, a locale full of good food, plentiful drink, and nude alien babes. Wow! Oh, a guy's paradise right there, huh? Or a straight guy's paradise, rather. Good food, plentiful drink, and nude alien babes. While venturing out to pick up some parts for their ship, the colony comes under attack from the mysterious fanatics, the Children of Exile. What was once heaven quickly becomes hell, the bloodiest and lewdest issue in all of Kremisi, wrapping up the first arc. In Mistress Izumi, Adult Lessons number 2, so I guess it's 2 books here he's pushing here, I guess. Sounds like. We learn more about being an adult from a lascivious fox girl and her very naughty friends. Lewd antics and helpful tips for adults combined in the return of our hottest series yet. Teach me, Mistress Izumi. Oh, we're getting into fetish land now. We're getting into fetish land. I know there are a number of guys out there who probably enjoy the old sexy dominating teacher bit. Oh wow. Anyways, moving on to the next part of the article here. Chris, what inspired these projects? Isaac, Kremisi as a series takes a lot of inspiration from Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and especially Outlaw Style. So it's got some anime elements. Well, I guess even Mr. Izumi, I guess, has anime elements there. Just Japanese culture in general. Even our fully animated trailer is a homage to Outlaw Stars opening. The story The story of issue 5 pulls some inspiration from Dead Space in its horror and brutality. Mistress Izumi came about from Izumi wanting to co-write an 18 plus book. Izumi, I guess, is that what I guess Isaac's wife or girlfriend or something? Wonder. We decided to do a series of shorter comics offering fun, naughty imagery with helpful tips for our fellow adults. Both books are published by our company to allow us a bit more freedom and cater more directly to our readers. Yeah, with a book like Mistress of Zumi's Adult Lessons, I would imagine it'd be better to more directly. Then you don't have the hassle of the middlemen of going through corporate, but you also make sure that kids aren't getting it. Cremisi is something I started on over 10 years ago and have since been refining and polishing as it comes to life as a comic. We do focus groups in addition to having a few editors ensure a highlight quality, the highest quality we can. This was the first time the comic received full colors rather than its usual black, white, and crimson art style. And we've seen that too in the golden age, white, and red, or black, white, and red, For Mistress Izumi, it's a lot of Izumi and I sitting down, outlining the lesson, and making pervy jokes with one another until we find a good balance. So I guess Izumi's either his wife or his girlfriend. So that Isaac and Izumi Fox. Hence the Fox Girl, Foxy, Fox Girl idea. Oh yeah, that teacher looks like she's ready to hand out some mighty discipline, folks. uh, Chris, who are these books best suited for? Isaac, Cremisi is normally a 16 plus series, but issue 5 is absolutely for adults only. This issue features nudity, public sex, extreme violence. It also tackles hard-hitting issues such as PTSD, alcoholism, and more. Mistress Izumi is for anyone who enjoys some adult humor, but also likes to learn a little as they go. Reading is a workout for the brain, and a book like Mistress Izumi is akin to light cardio, especially since it's a great book to get the blood flowing. No kidding. I'm sure it does. Particularly in certain parts of the body, right, gentlemen? And I would imagine, of course, that Mr. Izumi is 18 plus as well. So, yeah. Chris, who is on the creative teams for these projects? See, Isaac, Nyla Nandita, who leads our Pure Intent series, took over as lead artist for Cremisi. Her crisp style combined with the insanely polished coloring skills of Creus, our chief colorist, has created a comic with vibrant colors and gorgeous visual effects. Cremisi is written by Isaac Fox and goes through 2 rounds of editors to ensure the dialogue and story are both provocative and easy to follow. Mistress Izumi's Adult Lessons is the brainchild of Izumi herself, with art on this one done solely by Creus. We had concerns doing all art within the comic. Would be rough for one person. However, Creus rose to the challenge and has crafted a book with bountiful visuals and more jiggle than a bowl of jello. Oh boy. I'm sure. I'm sure we know where that jiggle is happening, don't we, folks? Hint, hint. Squint, squint. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Bang, bang. Chris, what's your production workflow like? Are the books finished or still in production? Isaac, any comic we take to Kickstarter has already been completed. The story, the art, the add-ons, the stretch goals, everything. All we have to do is get the funding to physically produce the items when we create comics. We write down a script and send it off for rounds of editing, review, and repeat. Kind of like the old adage, wash, rinse, repeat. I guess I've heard that one before. Once that's done, our artists review it and begin putting pen to page. From there, we get pages from the artist and review as they complete them. Hmm. Foxy, foxy. Uh, a lot of censored boob shots here. Oh boy. Chris, this isn't your first rodeo. What have you been learning from self-publishing crowdfunding? Isaac, there's a lot of hidden cost with creating a comic. Getting familiar with spreadsheets is a must for this kind of work, and strangely enough, can even be enjoyable. Learning how to craft schemes among schemes sounds a little shady, but the skill set is a must for survival in self publications. Our favorite lesson is one taught to us by the Kickstarter community. Backers are shockingly kind and understanding. As long as creators are open and honest with them, they'll return that respect a thousandfold. It's part of the reason why we bust our butts to ensure our backers always receive the absolute best. Are there more stories to tell in these universes? What's next? Isaac, that was Chris asking. Isaac, Cremisi will start its second arc in the near future with Cremisi 2, number 1, with the setup out of the way um, every future issue will directly involve the meat of the story and what both our protagonist Shay and our villains, the Children of Exile, are trying to accomplish. Mr. Zazumi was a somewhat experimental series, and we're happy to say the experiment was a rousing success. As such, we intend to give the series its own Kickstarter um, with full volume at some point. Until then, Izumi is ready to teach more adult. Okay, I get it now. So basically, both of these features are in one book. It's kind of like Cremisi is the title of the book, but you have Cremisi as the main feature, and then um, Mr. Suzumi's Adult Lessons is like the backup feature. So it's kind of at least the way they had this book set up initially here seems more like a anthology than a light anthology, mind you, but an anthology nonetheless. Let's see now. Chris, looks like the campaign ends in about a week. Any special features in this crowdfunding campaign you'd like to mention? Isaac. We're here because of our backers and readers, and take their input seriously. For some time, we have received requests for a full color book, and realized the best time to make this a reality was the end of the arc event with Cremisi 5. We now have a full trade book containing every Cremisi cover in virgin print. We've also hit 2 stretch goals already, rapidly encroaching on another. All backers are guaranteed some awesome freebies. We are not listed as a backer favorite by Kickstarter for nothing. Chris, sounds good, Isaac. Any final words? Isaac, thank you so much for supporting smaller indie creators. When you back groups like us, you're putting food on our tables, keeping our lights on, and helping feed our kids. We've got a handful of exclusives on this Kickstarter with some super sexy cosplay covers celebrating the return of Street Fighter. Each issue of Cremisi receives a new sexy cosplay cover, with issue number 3 getting an additional Dead Space cosplay set. Chris, good luck on these projects. All right, so now we get to the final feature of this article. Final, feature of this article here. J.R. Exner's here. Let's see what he has to say. I saw the audience was too, and I came to kick the interloper out of my spot, but I see it's Rick. Hey, JR. You haven't already, of course, you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to enjoy to engage in the content. That'd be appreciated. And if anything here gets your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we will try to answer those questions to the best. I'll try to answer those questions to the best of my ability. And thank you guys for the like and the share. So here we go. Extraordinary Tales by Franklin Scott. Kind of extraordinary comics group. Extraordinary Tales. Oh wow, this guy's trying to be a rip-off of Marvel. This guy parodying Marvel. Look at that. You got all kinds of parodies there. I see a parody of Hawkeye, Bing, few of them here. Wolverine, I guess. Let me grab the link here. Yeah, I'd say what a lot of people probably feel is that probably a good time for a parody of Marvel. Yes, it is me. There are 3 yeah, all right. And this, of course, is the link to this next article we're going to be looking at here. Extraordinary Tales by Franklin Cooper, I believe is the name of the guy, right? Or Franklin Scott, actually. Franklin Scott. So I don't know where I got Franklin Cooper from, but let's go ahead and get into this. Chris Braley, welcome back to ICS Franklin. What's your elevator pitch for Extraordinary Tales? Franklin Scott. Extraordinary Tales 1 is an homage to the great Silver Age comics of the 1960s, inspired by love of all things comic book, but Jack Kirby in particular. Yeah, I could see a lot of Jack Kirby influence in that scene right there. Chris, what kind of comic readers is this suited for, and who is it aimed at? Franklin, the story is written to pay tribute to Marvel Comics of the 1960s and is aimed at young adults to mature readers. Chris, who is on your creative team for this project? And is the book ready to go to the printer? Franklin, the book is 100% complete. Danielle Denbrinas Spizzani is providing the pencils and inks, and Doug Curtis is handling both uh, letters and colors the book. And Kevin Burge provides an original song. Wow, that's very interesting. Wonder if they'll do it in the style of the Marvel superheroes. That was very like performance feel theme song from the 1966. You know, when Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheel as Iron Man, all jets aflame. Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into the hole, and he just gallantly, let's see, crossed the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blooming heavens roar. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, he can breathe water and go flying through the air. I didn't sing the whole songs in any of that, just a couple of lines there. You know? Hmm. Does Marvel have a cowboy character, or is that um, DC's Vigilante? Um, I don't remember any cowboy characters off the top of my head from Marvel, but could be Vigilante. Let's see. Chris asks, what lessons are you learning from self-publishing and crowdfunding your own comic? Uh, Franklin, the comic books are popular to a wide audience still today. We have 4 projects on Fund My Comic with the same creative team as well as with artist Addie Kidd. Not Add a Boy, but Addie Kidd. Okay, that's ambitious. Anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off for this week's edition of Indie Comic Showcase? Franklin, the team at Funnies Inc. Incorporated, Extraordinary Comics Group, wish to extend an invitation to sample all our projects. Thanks for checking them out. That's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly column, click here and follow Indie Comics Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics. Reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding comic project. Till next time, support Indie Comics. All right, so there we go with that one. Oh, there we go with that one. So let's see what you're saying. I guess Rick may have. Let's see. Both have cowboy characters. Um, One for DC is Jonah Hex. And then JR's asking who are Marvel's Cowboys? I just know Jonah Hex and Vigilante. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of the Marvel ones on top of my head either. But, all right, well, I've got to make a lighting adjustment here, guys. I'll be right back, but I'll put some music on while I'm gone. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, of course, figure out. All right, so I think I'm going to move on to, well, let's see what we got in comments here. Let's see. Vigilante is not a cowboy. Good night, all. Talk to you tomorrow. A Marvel is Matthew Hawk. Okay. Thanks for that, Rick. Anyway, so now I think we're gonna start to wrap up here a little bit. We'll start with the wrestling wrap up, of course. In WWE news, as now that the merger has gone through, now there was some talk of some layoffs in the employee, but now we've heard that there have been 9 superstars released by the WWE. Among them include Shelton Benjamin and Dolph Ziggler. This could, where these guys will wrestle next, we don't know. You probably will have. They could end up in like AEW, Impact, maybe even the NWA or Major League Wrestling, or maybe even over in Japan. I guess we'll just wait and see. Let's see, Rick, what are you saying here? Here's a list of Western Marvel characters. Marvel, and all right, yeah, I again, since I had it, since like DC and its stuff is more that's why I didn't know. I knew about a lot of the major heroes of Marvel, but just never knew about their Western line, as it were. But for anybody who wants that information, Rick put it up for us. So thank you, Rick. Now, moving on here, of course, AEW, in more preparation for its Wrestle Dream on October 1st, had its Dynamite last night. It's the Grand Slam event they've been having the last couple of years from Arthur Ashe Stadium. Last night's show saw like 4 of 5. We saw 5 matches in total, I believe, and 4 of them were title matches. So on last night's Dynamite, Eddie Kingston defeated Claudio Castagnoli in a title versus title match between Claudio's Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title and Eddie Kingston's New Japan Strong Openweight title. This feud's been going on for a number of years as Eddie Kingston was not too happy with the way Claudio left Ring of Honor back in 2012 to go on to the WWE. Apparently, he refused to do business on the way out, and that's what led to a lot of the heat between the two. Chris Jericho defeated Sammy Guevara, only for Sammy to turn on Jericho after the match and join up with Don Callis' family. In an unexpected move, Ray Fenwick defeated Jon Moxley for the international title. Originally, that was not supposed to happen, but according to news reports today, during the pre-match brawl, Moxley had suffered a concussion and he knew something was wrong and called something on the fly where they changed the finish of the match to have Fenix win the international title. Saraya retained the women's world title over Toni Storm. MJF retained the AEW world title over Samoa Joe, doing what he promised to choke out Joe. So, and then you got day 2, quote unquote, of Grand Slam coming up on Friday for Rampage. And for tomorrow's Rampage, as it were. Tomorrow's Rampage, you'll have opening up. You'll have Mike Santana facing Boulder of the Iron Savages in a mixed 6-person tag match. 4 members of the JS, Angelo Parker, Anna Jay, Matt Menard, who will have Jake Hager in their corner, will take on Hook, TBS champion Chris Statlander, and former international champion Orange Cassidy. Christian Cage and TNT champion Luchasaurus take on Darby Allin and Sting in a tag match with Nick Wayne in their corner. The Mogul Embassy defends the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag titles against the Elite. So the Mogul Embassy members of Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, Brian Cage will defend against the Elite members of Adam Page and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Sky Blue will be taking on Julia Hart in a 4-way number 1 contendership match for the number 1 contendership to the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. The Hardys will be taking on Best Friends, will be taking on and the Kingdom and the Righteous. And in the main event for tomorrow night, for the AEW World Trios titles, Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed will take on the Dark Order members of Evil Uno, Alice Reynolds, and John Silver. So that's what's going on in terms of, let's see. And then on tonight's Dynamite, or not Dynamite, but on tonight's Impact Wrestling, basically show 1001. This is part of the 2-week celebration of the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling. The opening match will see in the Ultimate X match, Rich Swann, Samurai Del Sol, Mike Bailey, Zachary Wentz, Ace Austin, and Alan Angels trying to win Ultimate X. Dirty Dango will be taking on Jake Something, Eric Young, slated to take on Kenny King, and Josh Alexander will be taking on Trey Miguel. In a 10-woman tag team match, that's the main event for the night. Angelina Love, Diona Purrazzo, the Shantaraj of Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, and Tasha Steelz will team up, take on Awesome Khan, Gail Kim, Jordan Grace, Mickie James, and Impact Knockout World Champion Trinity. And on the match for the behind the Impact will be MK Ultra defending the Knockouts Tag Team Championship against the Death Dolls, Courtney Rush and Jessica. So that's all I have for you on in terms of the wrestling news. Today being Thursday, September 21st. Let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. 93, 98, 2018, and 2008. So, okay. So, here we go. So, first up, on this date 30 years ago today, back in 1993, this date in 1993, the 80th issue of Conan Saga, an anthology, went on sale on newsstands from Marvel's Magazine's imprint. Sold for $225 with 64 pages. Anthology series that featured Trail of the Bloodstained God and The Last Blood of Lazalan. So on this date, 30 years ago today, the 80th issue of Conan Saga from the Marvel Comics Magazine's imprint went on sale on this date 30 years ago. Moving ahead now to the next piece of niche history. On this date in 1998, which was 25 years ago today, WCW held its Monday Night Raw event from the Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts. This was, I believe, actually no, it wasn't the go. This was actually a week after the Fall Brawl event, a week after Ric Flair's return to WCW after having been suspended. The main event of the night saw Kevin Nash, Lex Luger fight Stevie Ray and the Giant to a known contest. It was at a time when the New World Order had NWO Wolfpack, NWO Black and White. You know, you're having all these different. You have the Latino World Order popping up. All these factions coming up. Kidman retained the WCW Cruiserweight title over Disco Inferno. Dallas Page defeated Alex Wright. Canyon and Raven defeated Los Villanos of Villano 4 and 5. Rick Steiner defeated Wrath defeated Nick Dinsmore. Nick Dinsmore, that's a bit of a surprise because Nick Dinsmore would come back a few years later to portray Eugene in the WWE. One of the most hated and reviled decisions to be made by the WWE, as many people felt it was mocking disabled people. So, with that was 25 years ago today, and then getting ready to move on to the next. Now we're going back to 15 years ago today. On this date in 2008. Oh wait, no. Oh, that's 2018. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's 2018. So that's not what we want yet. So going back to 2008, as I said, this one right here. All right, so on this date, 15 years ago today, JC Staff's Familia of Zero Rondo of Princesses would complete its run on Japanese TV on this date 15 years ago today. So 12th and final episode of the Familia of Zero Rondo of Princesses would air on Japanese TV on this date 15 years ago in 2008. And then now as we prepare to move on to the last piece of niche history here. On this last day of niche, 5 years ago today, the Netflix animated series Hilda premiered on Netflix on this date. It was an animated streaming television show. on this date 5 years ago today. 5 years ago today, animated streaming show Hilda premiered on Netflix on this date 5 years ago today. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Everybody got some good information out. Thank you, Rick, for your input, for some of the trivia about Marvel Cowboys. Now, tomorrow night, of course, I'll have Metal from the Vomitorium here as my co-host, as we'll be continuing to look back to December of 1939 with comics that went on sale on that date. Let me see now. We'll be looking at Speed Comics Volume 1, Number 5, and Champion Comics Volume 1, Issue 4. So I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Bye.